Couch co-op might not be as common as it used to be, but there are still plenty of great games built around playing side by side. Whether you're teaming up with friends, family, or just looking for something fun to play together, these are some of the best couch co-op games you can jump into right now. Carrying a couch should be simple, right? Nope. Moving Out 2 turns basic tasks into chaos as you and your friends try to move furniture through tight spaces, obstacles, and ridiculous situations. Nothing ever goes smoothly. You're throwing items through windows, bumping into each other, and trying to stay organized while the timer keeps ticking. The game doesn't take itself seriously, and that's what makes it fun. Every level adds something new to mess with your plans, forcing you to adapt on the fly. Communication helps, but things usually fall apart anyway. It's loud, messy, and perfect for couch co-op, especially if you don't mind a bit of friendly chaos. At first it sounds ridiculous, spending time cleaning virtual dirt, but Power Wash Simulator 2 makes it oddly hard to walk away once you begin. You take on different locations, working piece by piece until messy spaces slowly start to look recognizable again. There's a steady rhythm to it. You move the nozzle, check angles, and chase those last stubborn spots that somehow always stay hidden. Larger jobs introduce new layouts and better equipment, giving you more control over how you approach each task. It's easy to play while chatting, since the game doesn't demand constant focus. Sometimes you just want something calm that still feels satisfying, and this is exactly that kind of experience. Things get weird fast in It Takes Two. You're thrown into a world that constantly shifts, moving from one strange situation to another without much warning. Each section feels different, not just visually but in how it plays. New ideas keep showing up, and the game rarely sticks with one thing long enough to get boring. The environments are creative too, turning everyday objects into full levels that feel surprisingly unique. It also has a way of creating those moments where everything falls apart in the best way possible, especially when timing is off or plans go wrong. The game keeps things fresh from start to finish, making every part of the experience feel a little unexpected.
Story of passion!
Exploring a haunted hotel sounds simple, but Luigi's Mansion 3 quickly turns it into something much more creative. Each floor feels like its own themed level, with different puzzles, enemies, and ideas that keep things interesting. You're vacuuming up ghosts, searching rooms, and figuring out how to interact with the environment to move forward. It's not fast-paced, but it keeps you engaged with constant small discoveries. The co-op side adds another layer with Guigi, letting two players handle puzzles and situations in ways that wouldn't work alone. It also leans into humor, with plenty of small moments that make things feel light instead of scary. It's the kind of game that's easy to pick up and just enjoy without overthinking it. A wall, a button, and a portal gun. That's all it takes for things to get complicated in Portal 2. The co-op mode drops two players into a series of test chambers where nothing is as simple as it first looks. Rooms start off manageable, then they turn into puzzles that require timing, positioning, and a bit of trial and error. One small mistake can throw everything off, which eventually leads to a lot of restarting and laughing at how badly it went. The game constantly builds on its ideas without overcomplicating them, so it always feels fair even when you're stuck. Portal 2 is at its best when both players are thinking things through and trying to stay on the same page.
Don't disappoint me.
Cooking shouldn't be this stressful, but Overcooked 2 turns it into complete chaos. Orders keep coming in, ingredients are everywhere, and the kitchen itself is usually falling apart while you're trying to keep up. You're chopping, cooking, plating, and serving, all while bumping into each other and trying not to mess up the order. Just when things start going smoothly, the level throws in something new to ruin your rhythm. There's always something going wrong at the worst possible time. Most of the fun comes from those moments where everything falls apart and you're both trying to fix it before time runs out. Overcooked 2 is hectic in the best way possible. Breaking out of prison is just the beginning in A Way Out. The game follows two characters trying to escape and stay ahead, while everything around them keeps getting worse. You're constantly moving through different situations, from sneaking around and avoiding guards to more intense moments where things don't go according to plan. The story plays a big part here, with both characters getting their own moments and perspectives as things unfold. It's not always about perfect execution either. Sometimes plans fall apart, and you just have to react and keep going. It's a straightforward experience, but the variety in situations keeps it engaging from start to finish. Next up, we've got Borderlands 4, a game that throws you straight into non-stop fights, wild weapons, and enemies that rarely give you a moment to breathe. You're constantly moving forward, picking up new gear, and figuring out which weapons actually work for your playstyle. Missions tend to escalate quickly, turning simple objectives into larger shootouts or unexpected encounters along the way. Character abilities help mix things up too, giving you different ways to handle combat depending on how you build your character. Loot is always the main incentive. You're testing new guns, swapping gear, and chasing upgrades as you push through each area. It's a fast-paced experience that feels built for long sessions where you just keep going. Looks can be deceiving, and Cuphead proves that pretty quickly. The hand-drawn art style feels straight out of an old cartoon, but the difficulty hits way harder than you'd expect. Fights are the main focus here. Bosses throw non-stop patterns at you, forcing you to learn, adapt, and try again until everything finally clicks. Every attempt gets you a little further. You start recognizing attacks, reacting faster, and slowly getting the hang of it. Playing with someone else makes things even more unpredictable, especially when both of you are trying to stay alive at the same time. It's tough, sometimes frustrating, but beating a boss feels earned every single time. Next up, we've got Reanimal, a darker co-op adventure that focuses more on atmosphere and tension than fast action. You're moving through unsettling environments, solving environmental puzzles, and trying to stay one step ahead of whatever is lurking nearby. The world feels uncomfortable on purpose. Strange creatures, eerie sounds, and limited visibility keep you alert as you figure out where to go next. Progress often comes from observing your surroundings and reacting carefully rather than rushing forward. Moments of silence can be just as intense as the actual threats, especially when something unexpected suddenly changes the situation. It's a slower, more unsettling experience that works well when you want something different from the usual energetic co-op games. A thread connects both characters in Unravel 2, and everything revolves around how you use it. You're moving through environments by climbing, swinging, and solving small puzzles that rely on positioning and timing. The game keeps things simple but constantly builds on its ideas. One section might have you working through platforming challenges, while another focuses more on figuring out how to move forward together. The environments are calm and detailed, which gives the whole experience a more relaxed pace compared to most co-op games. Mistakes happen, but they're easy to recover from, so it never feels too punishing. It's a quieter kind of co-op game, where progress comes from understanding how everything connects. Next up, we got Revenge of the Savage Planet. The world is packed with strange creatures, bright environments, and systems that don't always behave the way you expect. You're exploring, scanning wildlife, gathering resources, and slowly unlocking new tools that let you reach places you couldn't before. Movement becomes more flexible over time, opening up new paths and areas to check out. There's a constant sense of curiosity while playing. You're not always sure what you'll run into next, and that's part of the appeal. Playing with someone else adds to the experience, especially when you're experimenting or messing around with the game's systems. It's weird, unpredictable, and fun to explore without taking itself too seriously. Running through levels in Super Mario 3D World never really slows down. You're constantly jumping between platforms, dodging enemies, and reacting to whatever the level throws at you next. Stages are short but packed with ideas. One moment you're climbing, the next you're dealing with moving platforms or chasing something before it disappears. Things can get messy fast. You might go for a jump at the same time, miss your timing, or both dive for the same item and throw each other off. Power-ups change how you move, giving you new ways to handle each situation. It's the kind of game where you can jump in instantly and just enjoy the moment together without needing to think too much. Next up, we've got Split Fiction, a co-op experience built around constantly shifting ideas and shared problem solving. You're moving through levels that rarely stay predictable, with mechanics that change just when you start getting comfortable. One section might focus on timing and movement, while the next introduces something completely different that forces you to adjust. That variety keeps both players involved instead of letting one person take over. Progress often comes from figuring things out together rather than reacting quickly, which gives the game a more thoughtful pace. It's the kind of adventure where every stage feels like a new scenario to deal with. Great when you want something creative that actually feels designed around playing side by side.
Really?
Blasting through the Star Wars universe feels surprisingly relaxed in LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. You're jumping between planets, replaying iconic moments from all 9 movies, and smashing everything in sight for studs and collectibles. Levels mix light combat with simple puzzles, often encouraging you to swap characters and use different abilities to progress. There's always something new to unlock, whether it's additional heroes, upgrades, or hidden paths tucked inside larger hub areas. Between story missions, you can explore open locations, take on side activities, or just roam around causing harmless trouble. It works especially well when you want a co-op game that doesn't demand perfect timing or serious commitment.
The rebellion is reborn today.
Sometimes you just want to walk forward and punch everything in your way. Streets of Rage 4 keeps things simple, throwing you into levels packed with enemies and letting you clear them out one fight at a time. Combat feels fluid and responsive, with combos that are easy to pick up but satisfying to pull off. You can chain attacks, juggle enemies, and keep things going as long as you don't get hit. Levels move at a steady pace, mixing up enemy types and situations so it never feels repetitive. Playing with someone else makes it even better, especially when fights get messy and you're both trying to keep control of the screen. It's the kind of game where one clean combo can turn everything around, or one mistake sends you straight back into chaos. Movement never really slows down in Rayman Legends. You're constantly reacting to what's in front of you, jumping between platforms, avoiding hazards, and trying to keep your momentum going. Levels are short but packed with ideas. Some focus on careful timing, while others push you into faster sections where everything happens at once. There's also a strong sense of rhythm to the way stages are built. Once you get into the flow, it becomes surprisingly satisfying to move through everything cleanly. Hidden paths and collectibles give you extra reasons to replay levels and improve. It's easy to jump into, but staying consistent through tougher parts is where the real challenge starts to show. Next up, we've got Sackboy: A Big Adventure, a platformer built around playful stages and clever level ideas. You're moving through themed environments filled with jumps, traps, and small surprises that keep you paying attention. Each area changes how you approach movement, whether it's careful timing or reacting quickly to what's happening around you. That shift helps the game stay engaging as you progress. There's also plenty to find beyond the main path, from hidden collectibles to optional sections that reward exploration. Moments can get a little chaotic when everyone's trying to stay together, especially during tougher sequences. It's a laid-back experience that's easy to get into and works well for relaxed co-op sessions. Things escalate quickly in Absalom, where every run throws you into tight fights and forces you to stay sharp from the start. It plays like a side-scrolling brawler, but each attempt shifts enough to keep you guessing. You're pushing through different areas, grabbing upgrades, and adjusting your approach depending on what shows up. Some runs feel controlled, others spiral the moment you lose momentum. Combat carries most of the weight, built around chaining attacks, dodging at the right time, and making the most of character abilities. Progress stacks between attempts, gradually opening more options and making later runs feel more manageable. It's a strong choice when you want something energetic that encourages just one more run. Taking cover and pushing forward under pressure defines Gears of War Reloaded. You're moving through intense firefights where positioning, timing, and coordination make a big difference. Encounters are built around waves of enemies and tight spaces, forcing you to think about when to advance and when to hold your ground. Weapons feel heavy and impactful, which adds to the tension during longer battles. The campaign keeps things varied with different environments, set-piece moments, and situations that shift the pace just enough. Progress feels earned as you fight through tougher sections and adapt to what the game throws at you. It's a strong co-op pick when you want something more serious and action-driven compared to lighter couch experiences. Every run in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Splintered Fate throws you back into fast room-to-room fights where positioning and timing matter just as much as damage. You're choosing upgrades on the fly, adjusting your approach depending on what enemies show up next. Each turtle has their own feel in combat, which changes how encounters play out and how aggressive you can be. Some sections flow smoothly, others force you to reset and rethink your strategy. Between attempts, new abilities and modifiers open up, giving later runs more flexibility. It's the kind of game where momentum builds naturally, and the urge to jump back in comes from wanting to see how far you can push the next run. that wraps it up. Hopefully you found something new to play together. If you've got a favorite couch co-op game I didn't mention, drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.